Have you ever stuck around in a job that didn't make you feel alive while you waited for that dream opportunity to magically fall into your lap? Have you ever felt driven to do more with your life, but you can't seem to figure out what it is that you're supposed to do? Or perhaps you want to do so many things that you become overwhelmed to the point of paralysis and you can't even begin one. But that's not all. Have you ever been in a situationship where you found yourself waiting to see if or when the other person will say what they want so you could admit or figure out what you want? If any of these resonate with you, then welcome to another episode of Lessons I Learned the Hard Way so you don't have to, even though it sounds like you might have been doing that already. But maybe all of that can stop today, as this episode's topic is about an innate superpower that we all have access to that can really help to chip away at these kinds of problems, and that superpower is called clarity. This can be clarity in your desires or pursuits, in your purpose and search for meaning, and even in how to structure your approach to going after things you feel led to pursue, especially when those things involve drawing a line with some of the people in your life. The only challenge? This clarity likes to play hard to get by playing hide and seek. So, to help us begin our search, we're going to borrow a hat and a magnifying glass from everyone's favorite detective, Sherlock Holmes. Though honestly, I'm convinced he's got nothing on Enola. To find clarity in this game of hide and seek, we must follow the clues to unravel the truth that we aren't always ready to face. But the game is afoot. So let's get started. My favorite quote from Sherlock Holmes is one that's probably shared by many. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, no matter how improbable, must be the truth. Can this wisdom be adapted in the search for clarity? How about this? When you eliminate the undesirable, whatever remains, no matter how rare, challenging, audacious, must be our truth. Our truth is one we deserve to live. And that is the truth of why we are here and what we are each here to do. Somewhere deep within us, there's a sense of what this is. And at times we get hints of it whenever someone tries to make us do anything that isn't aligned with it. We feel an overwhelming sense of resistance and it irks us to our very souls. And that, my friends, is when you've hit the undesirable. In our search for clarity, we have 3 clues to get us closer to our individual purpose. And by navigating through each of these, I think we can begin to get closer to our truth. Clue number 1, acknowledge what is truly undesirable. This requires a level of honesty with yourself that surpasses all others. As I mentioned, you tend to feel what is undesirable all the way to your core, but sometimes it's hard to admit to ourselves what we don't want, especially if it's the things we've convinced ourselves to do or keep doing. To acknowledge the undesirable, you may need a combination of metrics and guidelines, but above all else, principles. Begin by asking yourself a potent question for every existing or potential opportunity that presents itself. Is this aligned with what I believe in? For example, are you working for a place, involved in a relationship, or making any kind of choice, including inaction or silence, as those are also a choice, that supports things that go against what you believe in? But wait, do you even know what you believe in? The process of determining this is the same as establishing principles for your life. Clue number 2, create a clear scope for what falls within your desires, even if it's based on what falls outside of them. From finding your first clue, you will begin to hone in on what you desire for your life versus what you don't, all from a place of depth, your value system. When you've completed this process, first clue in hand, it's the second step that will bring an established definition. You may need to be brutally honest to the point where it breaks your heart, but I can promise you that setting a scope like this can enable you to sort what should stay in your life and what should probably change or go. There are a few methods you can use for this, but it always involves writing or typing it out. Here are a few examples of categories I would recommend you make these lists. Work or projects, health and wellness, connections from romantic to family to friendship to business, your dreams and goals, which tend to be your most secret or treasured wishes. Clue number 3, take actionable steps to align your life. After having taken a very harsh look at your life and determining what can be categorized as desirable and what is not, it is time to make moves to ensure those clouds will clear. Therefore, it might be time to work on a plan to change your job. It might be time to start a project or disengage from one. It might be time to change your eating and sleeping and exercise habits. The most crucial of all, it's definitely time to talk to your humans. This is the most uncomfortable step you may ever have to take because it involves being honest with other people. Why are we so afraid of admitting our true desires, even if it means not doing something that someone else wants us to do? And this isn't a question of compromise or the many times that it is a good thing. This is about agreeing to do things that go against our core beliefs or avoiding saying that they do. When we are finally able to defend and maintain our individual scopes, which will allow us to access our desirable life, that is when we've achieved a sense of clarity. Any choice presented to you from that point onwards can be measured against the deeper principles you have established for the life you hope to achieve. Here are 3 personal examples of how this process helped me to get clear on what I wanted for my life and what I didn't. 1. I realized that just because you're good at something doesn't mean it's a service that you are required to offer to others. I'm pretty great at administrative tasks that organize and streamline workflows. While I enjoy building systems around them, I don't enjoy doing tasks for others that feel like secretarial work, even if I'm good at it. Because what I actually enjoy is system building, and those tasks are just a tool for doing exactly that. 2. I only want to work on projects that are oriented towards a greater mission for humanity. Projects that involve desires that wade in shallower waters, while perfectly fine for some, do absolutely nothing for me. So even if the money is right, the vibe would be wrong, and I would have to say no. 3. I don't want friendships that require me to compromise anything that borders on who I'm here to be and what I'm here to do. And I don't ever want to be put on a pedestal because I'm human. I can be wrong and I will make mistakes. As you begin this process, you're going to feel caught in an ellipsis between the person you used to be and the person you're becoming. But the minute you feel this way, know that you're doing it right. Remember though that the current is going to be trying to pull you back to the person you used to be, and this is scientifically proven. Our minds form maps based on our repeated actions, and it's going to take a little while for it to make new maps based on your evolved choices. Discipline and consistency are therefore what matter the most in this process. And here's our final twist in this Sherlock Holmes search. Through this game of hide and seek, clarity has always been seeking you, and you're the one who's been hiding. Don't hide from the sacrifices you need to make for the life you were born to live. This process is admittedly a bit rough before the clouds clear and the sun shines, but it is my hope that you'll go through it sooner rather than later. So this lesson I learned the hard way so you don't have to, won't be a lesson we learned the hard way. Thank you for joining me. Life's Guinea Pig, Jeanelle Frontin.